Well, now for Maxims.
By the way, this guy, he shifted faster than any CEO. He's actually got this recorded in his book, this experience. I didn't know he was going to put it in a book somewhere. But he shifted so quickly. It's the quickest turnaround where he saw it and he just completely did a 180 on it.
So you're saying that no matter where we're at right now, we're probably standing in the way of our own progress in some way, right?
We're stopping the growth in our organization some way.
In honor of Maxim 33, I have an awesome item. Dan Rob, could you grab it? It's on the desk. It's just this awesome. It's a circular item. It's a big circular. In honor of item 33 here,
okay.
It arrived on my desk magically today, and I just feel like, oh yeah, here we go. We had a client that dropped by this today. Now it's a faint deal, but it's Larry Bird autographed basketball, a little thank you gift.
Larry Bird
autographed basketball. We're just filling up the desk with all sorts of stuff here today. But I'll move this over here so we can see you. But number 33, here we go. So rewrite your weekly schedule, review it daily. Talk to me about that. Number 33.
Okay, so now we can do this by the computer. I find it, if I manually write out the key things, my schedule for the week, and I've got a pattern. I got a set pattern. There's 6 things that I look at here. You know, my key goals, my key appointments, my influencers. What am I going to do with my influencers? Yeah. I've got how did I do on my goals last week? You know, what are goals that I've got beyond this week? And I've got a pattern here where I write out a weekly plan. It's interesting. The wealthier you get, the bigger the time frame that you look at life by. And it's interesting. I remember reading in college that these Japanese planners would do these 500-year business plans. Like 500 years, I mean, maybe they live longer than we do. I don't know.
Well, they're eating all that.
Maybe the fish they're eating.
They're eating all the vegetarian sushi.
Yeah, vegetarian sushi, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, why are they? Well, wealthy people look at time blocks and they manage entire time. What am I going to do during this? And I know some people working for some of my construction clients I've got, and nothing against them, but they're really good in their craftsmanship, but they can hardly see to the end of the day. You know, their time frame is like, you know, when's beer time? You know, and so we want to write our schedule weekly and review it daily, and it's just taking a look at a whole week at a time. It forces you to not just go hand to mouth, shooting from the hip, look at a whole week at a time, and then review it and modify it every day.
One thing I would encourage you to do right now as an exercise, let's just say you got a sheet of paper right now, or you got the computer pulled up. Maybe you don't want to write on your computer screen, but go ahead and just type the number. Let's ask yourself real quick, how much money do you want to make on an annual basis? Let's just for grins, say that you chose my answer. I want, after I pay everybody, to have $500,000. That's kind of like my repetitive goal. And I'm sure I could change that number at some point. But if we divide, let's just say to keep it simple though, my goal was $100,000. So if my goal is to make $100,000 a year, and I divide that by 52 weeks, how much do I have to make every week? Well, it's $2,000 a week. At $2,000 a week, how many hours are in the week? I don't know, 40? So then if you want to make $100,000 a year, every hour when you look at your calendar for the week, you have to ask yourself, am I doing things during that time that has the capacity to earn me $50 an hour? And if not, get out of there. And I used to have so many stupid things that I was doing. I'll give you an example. I used to spend an entire day volunteering for one organization, to only come home and volunteer for another organization, to then go to a dinner to serve another organization, to then look at a small check and then have this dream of making $100,000. Now I only schedule things into my schedule that allow me to get there. And so I think it's super important that we all do it, because every week when I do this, every week, I always do this. Usually it's my deep dive. I get to work about 2 a.m. on Monday morning, and I get there and I look at it and I go, how did that get in my schedule? That's not that's not a $100 an hour activity. That's not a $300 activity. Who put that there? And then you start realizing that at some point I made a bad decision, that became habit or whatever. And I think it's super important that if you want to make 50 grand a year, make sure you're doing something every hour that at least has a potential to pay you enough to get there. And if not, don't do it. So One more final example. I work on some clients right now where I don't get paid anything hourly. It's nothing. It's all upside. One guy I worked with is a doctor. Well, now I make like $4,000 a month from this doctor. At first I made zero. So I was willing to invest the time because I knew the upside was big. So it's okay to have jobs where you don't make anything per hour, but you need to make sure at least that time has the potential to yield
Very good.
enough income for that hour. I can't underscore it enough.